The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm wearing heart-shaped glasses. And it's not because it's Valentine's Day, it's because my eyes are super swollen from, I don't know, I'm a swollen bitch this weekend, and I'm trying to stay. None of my clothes fit. I saw some pictures yesterday of myself that I really, really hate, that are truly something's different with my body. I have definitely changed. And I just want to say, if you relate to that, it's okay. My body needs to be this way right now. I need to be not fitting in all my clothes. There is a reason for it. And it's none of my business what my body is doing right now. And I'm perfect the way I am. It's the way that I was meant to be. And that's what's getting me through today, because it is very hard when your clothes feel tight. It is so uncomfortable. And when you already feel like you look down at yourself and you don't really something happened to my body in the past couple of days and I don't recognize my lower half. It's just changing. I don't know if it's like this is the time as a woman where you just go from I'm on a tangent here. I want to intro you, Andrew. So I've been watching the Playboy documentary, Secrets of Playboy, and I've also, you gotta watch We Need to Talk About Cosby. I believe it's on Hulu. I watched it on Showtime. It's so good. I'll talk about it in depth in the way that we should later, but I just want to say that there's so many, you see women that were like the hottest women of their time in the 70s, 60s, like all of these women that you see pictures, and they couldn't be tinier and more like the object of what my sick brain says is perfection.
Perfect, yeah.
And then you cut to them as, 50, 60-year-old women when they're coming out with these stories. And this is the sickest thing to even be paying attention to this. There's so many of them that I'm like, first of all these women are so strong that I'm like, you don't even pay attention to that. But I just noticed there's no stopping what will happen to my body. When you get older, your metabolism slows and your body just gets softer because you are more prone to falling and your bones need to be protected. It's not good to be thin when you're tiny. When you're, more prone to falling, and your body needs to protect itself from breaking a hip. Otherwise, you need fat on you. That's why women get bigger and you slow down and all that stuff. Or your metabolism slow down. I don't know if it's happening to me. This is a weekend. It decided to it's your time or something like that. But whatever it is, I woke up. I was really in a bad mood this morning. I was taking it out on whoever I was around, just kind of being grumpy. It was giving me a headache. And it was all because of how my clothes fit and how I looked in these pictures last night that just truly changed my mood in such a way that it's just, before I saw those pictures, by the way, the pictures that were taken when I was happy, and then hours after I was happy with that same body that was in the pictures, and then I see the pictures and then I'm unhappy. Whereas I'm happy and I'm unhappy because that's what I look like right now. But really, I was happy that whole time when I wasn't thinking about that. And I went to the pool area today and I see all these women with bodies that I was like, God, I used to look like that, or I'll never look like that. I'm just going to all these places in my head, which might be true. I could be hit by a car tomorrow and be in a wheelchair and I'll never look like that girl again. There's no chance that I ever will, or maybe right now.
Oh, sometimes legs get smaller when you get paralyzed.
That's true. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But I just have to say that I am truly okay with it, and I don't care, and bring it on. No matter what my body wants to do, bring it on, and it's meant to be, and I'm not going to diet. I'm not going to exercise. I'm not going to do fucking anything to try to control it. Because when I do that, things get wonky. What I did realize is that this is kind of correlated. I'm trying to pay attention to things in my life that are I'm not feeling healthy is essentially what's going on here. I'm feeling itchy in my own skin. I just don't feel healthy. I don't look like myself when I feel my healthiest. And I think I gotta stop doing Diet Coke, which is that's the only thing that's changed in my diet. I'm just living on Diet Coke, and it's not supplementing for food. I'm just gonna go, Nikki, you've noticed something? You had your fun with Diet Coke. You had a little relapse. It's time to go. So that's all I'm going to do, I have to say. And that's a different me than has been in the past of like when I have these, in the past when I had these moments, and this has been my whole life of waking up one day and being like, wow, I've gained so much weight. It's all in my head, you know, but like I just feel so different and it feels out of control. It feels like this is the beginning of whatever. My body will never be what I want it to be. No one will ever be attracted to me again. All these things, I better hold on to whatever I have now because he seems to like me and no one else, you know, like, and not feeling sexy around him, whatever it is. I know now, I used to just go, okay, I used to draw up a diet plan and start counting my calories and start starving myself on this day. I used to go to the gym and go, I'm going to spend 2 hours there and I'm going to spend so much time in the gym that I don't have to eat. And I'm not going to do that this time. Like, because I'm feeling, this is the first time in my eating disorder recovery that I've really felt like so uncomfortable in my skin. And I felt like, wow, this whole no exercise, eating what I want is like actually starting to backfire. But it's not. I just, whatever caused me to gain a little weight is what I needed to get through the past couple weeks. I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm not going to fucking diet or exercise at all unless I want to get exercise for my like mental health and I want to just sweat and have some fun, or because I'm just not hungry. That's the only two reasons I'm not going to eat. And I just want to say that because I just know this feeling that I'm feeling this morning, I just am so familiar with it and I haven't felt it for years because it just hasn't come up and I haven't been wearing jeans for years, but these jean shorts I put on today are just like, oh boy. And I know it's common for fucking everyone listening. Literally everyone listening feels this way. You don't have to do a 180 with how you've been doing things. You can just do a small thing like this Diet Coke thing. I know it's not healthy. It doesn't make me feel that much better. I'm doing way too many of them. Maybe that's the thing to cut out of instead of punishing myself with exercise and making myself uncomfortable for starving. Not having a Diet Coke isn't going to make me sad. Whereas if I starve myself, that's sad. So that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to get that out there. Someone out there might need it. I know I need to just be accountable for that and say it out loud.
No, I completely understand.
But happy Valentine's Day.
What you're saying. It's funny. When I get in an elevator with Amir,
Who's Amir?
Huh? Amir, he's
a really fit guy.
Amir Cat?
That's on. That's one of our PAs on Perfect Strangers too.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah,
he's really
but he's
chill.
just got such a good body, and it makes you feel insecure.
It does. I go, God, if I could just be Amir.
When you get into an elevator with a reflection.
Yeah, I constantly, like, even if it was 5 minutes before I got in the elevator and I already saw my reflection, I'll go, oh, I look different, or something's different, or I'll look better, or I'll look worse. Like, I do that same shit, too. So I definitely relate to, like,
and just
constantly questioning what my body looks like today. Did I have too much sodium last night, you know, Super Bowl. You're going to eat shitty. Like, it's in your brain. It's in your DNA.
It's the American tradition.
You got to destroy yourself.
It's like the holidays, you know? You don't have to,
I thought you were going to say Holocaust. I really did.
Well, your fucking asshole thinks it is today.
Oh, God. It really does.
You're putting down dips, layers of things.
I got a Monte Cristo sandwich, which is...
Oh, my God.
I think whoever Monte Cristo was, like he died young of a heart attack. Because that guy, there's no way that was his sandwich.
What is a Monte Cristo? It's like, I'm picturing cheese, salami.
Like ham, turkey, cheese on a brioche bread with chipotle mayo.
We want to see how many animals we can...
layer up.
Yeah, that we can kill in one sandwich.
Yeah. It's weird. They don't even kill the animal. You have to eat the whole thing. Yeah, so I ate that, and then I got pizza too. I was like, it's Super Bowl. Like, you just you convince yourself
that it's
things.
Well,
but
it's
you know
holidays.
what? It's okay.
It is a holiday.
Yeah, it's a holiday.
And everything on TV is telling you to drink and eat, and it's fine. And it's, first of all, it's one day. It's not the holiday season, which so many people just justify that kind of behavior for weeks, kind of. But everyone dieting is just, it doesn't fucking work. And, making healthier choices works, but pretty much dieting equals denying yourself. And exercising to burn calories or like burn fat when it's painful. Like when you are just, when your body's tired, I understand pushing through for like mental fortitude. But if you're looking at the calories on a treadmill, or looking up how many calories you burn, you're trying to you're trying to punish yourself because none of that is something you would do to your child.
You know what I do? I started lifting again, and I just found a great point of like where I don't destroy myself.
Yeah.
But I see results that I'm happy about just in like whatever. One, my mental is so much better.
I mean, lifting, they say, I mean, and by they, I mean, Sam Harris says, is like doing, a weights regimen for your whole life is the best thing you can do for your mental and physical health.
Yeah, and I just need to keep it like where it's manageable, where you don't get sad when either you miss it and you feel like, oh no, I'm missing out, or
no, just do it when you feel like you want to, and not make it about this. We're so obsessed with streaks. I missed Wordle one day, and my streak of playing Wordle every day and not it's broken. And I had this little pang of like, you fucked up, Glaze. Now that feeling of you fucked up, any type of feeling where you're disappointed in yourself is going to lead to abusive behavior towards yourself that can, snowball into really hurting yourself, rather with, physical fitness, like injuring yourself. Like any type of self not being nice to yourself is going to incrementally add up. And I think you're so right. Like the missing one day, saying like, I go to the gym every day, and then you miss one day and it's like, then it's done. Yeah. Then you stop.
Or I ate shitty last night and I was like, fuck, dude, I was doing so fucking, you get that thought, like, I was doing so fucking good, man. I was fucking eating fucking egg whites. I had a poke bowl for lunch.
The thing.
And then I'm like, fuck, I had the same. I know.
Everyone feels that way.
I know.
And that's such a common thing of just like, okay, throw in the towel. Like, I feel so flabby and gross today. Like, for me, I feel like out of shape. I feel like I feel lumbering. I feel slow. The last thing I want to do is work out. But if later today I feel like I want to just like get my blood pumping, not to I'll do it. But if I don't, and if I don't change anything I do, besides not
Diet Coke.
But the thing is, Diet Coke. You know what I do change? I'm not saying that if you feel like upset about the way your body looks or feels, truly do nothing, because that wasn't my solution. My solution was talk about it like this. First of all, this is part of my solution, is being very honest about what's happening and how I'm feeling, because you need to put it into words, whether it is in a journal or just talking to yourself or leaving a voice note for a friend. Fucking leave me a voice message on my IG. I will maybe not even listen to it, but the fact that you say it out loud, it will help you get honest, and then see what you can change. First of all, that's already a change. If you decide to journal or say your feelings out loud, that is a huge change that can lead to you feeling better in your body tomorrow, whether it actually physically manifests, which it probably will. But the change does not have to be reading a new diet book, going to a spin class, unless that makes you feel good and you're not doing it for any other reason than to feel good. Now, this is like stuff that I've worked on extensively in eating disorder recovery. So, and if obviously I always put this out there, if anyone wants to know what I did to get recovered, you could always DM me and just write, eating disorder help in all caps, and I'll hopefully see it. But I just want to say that it's a long road to feeling this way, but I'm so grateful today that I had a little self-loathing today, which is okay. Like, even that, I'm like, you need to feel sorry for yourself because your jeans are tight. You need to be a little sad and go, I'm fat and I'm not going to look good on Perfect Strangers 2. I'm going to look different than Perfect Strangers 1, and people are going to call me things online.
It's been so many years.
It was, but
Cosby was raping last time we had a show.
And I just want to say that, like, this is just such a win for me to say today that I'm not going to diet or abuse myself with exercise. That is a fucking win for my body, for my mind, more so than any diet could give me, I'm not going to hurt myself.
Do you think next time you see a photo, how long did it take you to, because it sounded like initially it fucked you up.
Well, there were multiple photos from different angles, so it was confirmed from every angle.
Oh God!
And I remember feeling very my best self in the picture. I was wearing a swimsuit, and I was just like sucking it. I remember knowing that photo was going to matter to me later, how I looked. Yeah. So trying my best, and it really was, I want to say, 200% different than I thought it would be. So I'm not seeing myself correctly, but what I know to be true is that I have been that size. I have been that before.
Yes.
And I was loved, happy, successful, all the things. So if I stay that size or even get bigger, I'm going to be fine. But the truth is, I fluctuate. And I need to be that size right now I was in a boat. Maybe I needed extra weight in the boat because it would have fucking flipped over if not. Like, who knows what I needed that for yesterday, but I fucking needed it. And
I mean, you swam with whales. Maybe they thought you were family.
I wanted to be one of them.
Yeah.
I wanted to. So it's just.
You're more
happy
whale than
Valentine's
shark
Day.
yesterday.
That is my gift to myself and you, is that I really want for everyone to stop dieting, and I just don't want anyone to be. People shouldn't be hungry.
You know what's interesting about like bodies and stuff, and what we look at our bodies. We always, obviously, the problem areas, you know, where you make the fucking Sharpie marks, like, oh, you could work here. And, like, I'm going to say it, I have great calves, right?
Yeah.
When I think about my body, I should start with calves and probably end with, like, I should focus on, like, what's great about my body, not what we go, I mean, it's the same thing with life.
Our lives.
Yeah, it's
Noah,
like.
I want you've been quiet this time, just taking all this in. You're someone who I feel like we've talked a little bit about body image in the past, you and I, and you're someone who's like, even the other day when we were talking about the best compliment we can get, you're like, you know, I know what I am. I'm not like a fucking supermodel, but I accept myself. Do you have days, as we all do, where you feel like, I'm not what I want to be? And what do you do when you're feeling like bad in your own skin, bad body image day?
Okay, I literally had this last night because I was trying to put on something that I hadn't put on in like 2 years, and it didn't even go up like halfway through my thigh, like up my thigh.
Yes,
and
so
like as a result, I had to miss something because of it, and
oh God,
I don't know. I just feel really bad in the moment, and I do have a lot of negative self-talk, and I can't help it. But then, like, I've never been one to be obsessed with what my body looks like. So I think it's a little bit easier for me to let go of it and just accept, okay, well, I know what I have to do in order to fit in those pants again. And I'll do it.
And what you have to do, is it a drastic measure that's going to like make your life less enjoyable?
Is it going to make my life? No, I just have to be
yeah.
So I just have to be more disciplined. I think that when I look back when I was training jujitsu like every day, and I was like a very strict vegetarian diet, and I was watching everything that I ate, and I didn't really pay attention to how obsessive I was. When I look back at those photos, I don't like the way that I look, because I just remember how obsessed with everything I was, instead of just being present and like enjoying the moment. So now I just want to enjoy the things that I like, not really care about what I eat. I eat healthy anyway. Just, you know.
Yeah.
And just
be more aware.
Do you ever
of what
think
you're
about
putting in
just
your body.
burning those pants? Because I did that. I got rid of like
Well,
7
you burnt
different.
down your frat house, so you lost a lot of clothes in that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a
Was
win-win.
that because of just a bad
I
mirror
couldn't
day?
fit into these 32s that I fit in high
So
school.
you burnt down the whole place.
Yeah, so I killed like 9 people. But whatever. R.I.P. Levi's.
Yeah, those
that
people
was
were
the
all
name
thin and triggered you anyway.
of the comedian anyway, or the comedian, the frat brother. But yeah, no, I did, because I got rid of like honestly 8 pairs of pants because they were skinny. And I think when I washed them, they got even skinnier. And it was like, how did I even fucking... And I laughed about it, but it was also like a mind fuck. Sometimes pants that you don't wear in a while and you put them in the dryer
Getting
too long.
clothes that fit
Yeah.
changed the game for sure. And
so why do we have...
I hold on to them because sometimes I get too thin, not on purpose, but in the same way that I accidentally get a little more bigger for what I feel comfortable in. And so I just know that I might end up in those because honestly, someone in my life might die and I might like lose my app. Like honestly, I might need something to wear if something triggers me to lose a bunch of weight for a reason that I don't know. And it's not around to be like, those are my goal jeans, because you're right, Noah, like looking back on when I've been running 5 miles a day, watching everything I eat, having the word strict comes to mind, being strict with myself, putting a lot of rules on myself. Everyone knows when you have a lot of rules imposed on you by other people, someday you're going to break them, and you're going to break them big. And you resent whoever is imposing these rules on you. Mm-hmm. So being strict with yourself is not the solution. It's about being good to yourself and making choices that honestly, you would make if you're going to start eating differently, literally think about how you would treat your daughter and like what you would feed your daughter. And would you make your daughter, if she needed to lose some weight, would you make her like go? Being hungry is the worst feeling in the world. Don't ever do that to yourself. And it is not the solution, because on the other side of hunger is eating too much.
Monte Cristo.
Is a Monte Cristo waiting for you.
Breakdown.
We got to go to the break, but we'll come back with, let's talk about, we didn't even get to whales, but we have so much week to get through. And I'm glad we talked about all this. I think it's going to help some people. It certainly helped me. Andrew!
I'm coming now.
We're back. Andrew, let's get to the news.
The news is coming, apparently. Here it comes.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
Oh, boy. I hope you had a great weekend. We had a great weekend, folks. Apparently, we all had fun. Apparently. Some people were mad we haven't been saying apparently enough, Nikki.
Oh,
so I want to
shit.
say apparently.
Oh, I had so much fun. I will say that I tried to go swimming with whale sharks. My friend Ben Glebe,
All the
he
swells.
found out. Oh, yeah, all the swells, you guys.
Monday.
Ben Glebe found out I was in Cabo, and he goes, hey, he knows everyone. He ran for fucking president at a time. He just has a guy everywhere. He goes, I got a guy, Lorenzo. He'll take you out. He'll do whatever you want to do. He'll give you a better rate, and it'll be a private little excursion.
You had a whale shark guy?
Yeah, he had a whale shark. He had a fucking whale shark guy. Same with this cocaine guy, oddly enough. And Lorenzo took us out. I have so much to say about Lorenzo. But let me just say, I know that you only go swim with whale sharks in La Paz, which is about 2 hours away. And I didn't even put two and two together that I was like, I want to go whale sharking. And he was like, sure, I got you. And the next day he's like, meet me in downtown Cabo. And we'll go out. And so on the way there, I'm like, wait, the whale sharks aren't here. Like we'd have to go. So I ain't seen any whale sharks today. And I just started laughing and I'm like, oh no. And so, yeah, no whale sharks were seen. I'm going out next weekend, but
Wait, what did you see?
so many fucking whales, humpbacks,
But you didn't swim with them.
seals, fish,
Did you swim?
storks, or pelicans. Yeah, I snorkeled with fish. I did not swim with the whales, but man, I saw in Hawaii, y'all know that I saw tons of whales. This was like the next phase. It was so much closer up, so much more activity. I saw my first breach, which is when a whale like shoots up and then falls, but it was a little baby calf and it don't know what it was doing. It just kind of was like, like it was just like its first breach. It was like just born. It was very tiny little humpback calf. So cute. So many sounds of, you hear you see it from far off, these big spouts come up, like a fire hydrant's going off in the middle of the ocean. You go towards the spout and they come up and then you go over to them. I did not know how easy it was to see fucking whales in this world. Take a trip, take a flight to Cabo and then go look at the ocean.
At a certain time, though.
Yeah, I mean, but it's between like fucking November and May. You're going to and I gotta say, the coolest part was when we got close enough, all of a sudden you go to where these whales are and then you'd wait because they go down for like 15 minutes and you wait and just hope they're going to come up in the same spot again. And sometimes you're just talking and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, 5 feet away, we hear like the sound of the blowhole coming out that close.
Oh, I thought it was you busting out of your jean shorts.
No, it was me. Oh my God. It was me doing an ass. I was holding my ass to do a silent fart. We just talked about that the other day. Behind the scenes, but then I was this sound is such a great sound to hear them come up and do that blowhole.
Yeah.
And I heard so much of it yesterday when I was walking to my hotel, I heard someone dumping trash and I turned my head like there was a whale next to me and I was so excited, but it's my favorite sound is a blowhole coming up in the water next to me. And I just, man, in another world, I was a marine biologist and yeah, I always had the joke that I wanted to be a marine when I was a little girl. I wanted to be a marine biologist because I thought it was just petting whales. I didn't know you had to like measure them and
take blood samples.
Yeah, and like tag them and like learn about like knots and their course of.
Oh my God, we had the best marine biologist teacher ever in high school.
Yeah, that was a
Miss
class?
McElhaney. She was like, I'm not kidding. She was like 148 years old. She was older than marine animals.
Yeah, she had seen the evolution of some of them.
She might have evolved from an actual small whale. And
whales were wolves.
Yeah, so she knew what was happening. And she would smoke cigarettes in between each. She'd go out and have a break and no filter and one puff. Whole cigarette. Like a whale taking in water to breathe down below.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then she'd blow it out her blowhole. She had a hole in the back of her neck.
She had a hole in her throat. They get their own blowhole someday. Someday I hope to have my own
She
blowhole.
would teach us and like fall asleep for a good 2 minutes and then come back and go, oh, so class, the
we
sponge
all have fucking
of
teacher
the
like that.
seahorse is
The sponge of the seahorse. Let's get to the
Sorry,
news.
yeah. So just in time for Valentine's Day, men posing with big fish on dating apps is a new trend. I feel like it's a new old trend, but still it is.
It's almost like so cliche at this point that I don't even make those jokes because it's so like that joke's been made a million times of guys on dating apps posing with fish.
I mean, out of 100 young men on Tinder in Virginia, 18 to 25.
Okay, so what part of Virginia? You know, are we looking at coastal?
I'm thinking coastal.
Yeah.
42% have a picture with a fish.
I have
mean,
a great joke that I haven't put in a special yet, and I don't want to burn it here.
Really? You don't?
I haven't put that in a special yet. It's like honestly it was my best joke for a while, and Mike Birbiglia actually helped me write it. But yeah, I have a joke about that in my set, and I don't want to do it now. But I will say that yeah, it's now it almost feels like hack to make fun of it. So 42%. I mean, I'll do a parts of it because I don't want to give away the big chunk, but. I used to make a joke of like, oh, what does that tell me about you? That your friend had a boat one day, like you went on a bachelor party one weekend in the Ozarks, or like it doesn't tell me you have a boat. It tells me your friend has one, and it tells me. Oh, I used to compare
I like
it
the
to
measuring thing.
I know, but I can't do
sorry,
that. That's
sorry.
the big part.
Okay, we can take it out.
No, it's okay. It truly, you could leave it in. Ham drop for my next special. That I'll probably not do that joke in either. But the thing that I men don't take a lot of pictures, and that's why their profiles suck. And this is kind of the whole thesis of my chunk about this in my act is that men's profiles suck because women take so many pictures of themselves. They're always like dolled up. They know how to pose, and men just take one picture of a year, and it's always you holding a fish because that's the only time you're like, oh, I want to document this. It's like your guys' school picture after you graduate. It's once a year. And you are just, it's straight on. It's by.
Yeah, the only picture a man will take alone is with a fish.
And I don't know what you're trying to tell me. I'm like, that you can provide for me. I'm like, oh, he can go out and you know, he doesn't have to slaughter a chicken tonight. He brought home dinner. Like, it just, to me, I first of all, if I see a fish in a picture, I don't want it because it's just, I don't like, my parents fish and I don't talk about it with them. I don't want to hear about. The thing that I read about fishing is that everyone goes, oh, catch and release. You know, if you take the hook out and just throw it back. I think there's a big percentage. You know, I'm not good at remembering stats that I've read.
No,
but
we talked about it on here.
Yeah, a
where
big
we
percentage
got
of
a
those fish
census,
die.
Yeah, from the fish.
So,
do you think? You know what I think it is too
I
is
don't
like
see it.
it's great lighting, like. And a way for a man to get perfect sun lighting with the water
And
behind,
they're tanned.
because it's kind of a pink,
and they're feeling confident because they've been
Yes.
drinking all day, so they're not like that ashamed to take a picture.
Yeah. So it's a way for them to look as sexy as possible, but it's like, oh, I'm holding a fish, but it's like, no, you got good lighting.
You know what? If any of you guys out there, I know we have sorry, Noah, what?
Oh, I was going to say in the article, they asked women like which fish they found the most attractive.
Hilarious.
Do you want to see?
Like what did they say? Yeah.
Okay, so Andrew,
bigger,
if
right?
you want, you can read.
Oh yeah. So it says the survey also asked
at him.
women to
Where did he
rate
go?
each fish. The biggest catch was the hogfish, a colorful critter.
We love a guy with a big hog. Oh my God, no, that would make me so sad.
I mean, what is going on with the mouth?
That's a huge fish, and its mouth is
Looks
coming
like it
out
has
of
a
its
duck
mouth.
in
It
its
almost
mouth.
looks like Predator with multiple mouths.
Double mouth.
Yeah, it looks like it's doing that Pringles thing where you like go like,
Yeah,
like
it does.
on the commercial where you
fish.
put two Pringles in.
It does.
It's exactly like that, you guys.
So this is the love child of a snapper. It grows up
looks
to
like-
24 pounds.
I don't care. Honestly, no, I don't. I just don't care. Can I just say that any guys out there who are looking for advice on your dating profile, go to the subreddit dating_advice, and men will put up their profiles on there and have women help them make it as like appealing as possible and give advice. And it's really a sweet community of women like trying to help these guys who are just so sincere. And you can get a sense not by putting your own up there, but by reading what these women have advised other guys what can help. And generally you want a picture where you're with friends, not too many selfies. You want smiling. Obviously animals is always a good thing, but around people, and I would really say not more than one picture where you're drinking. It just is, it's too much of your lifestyle. And also avoid negative things of like, don't swipe on me if you blah blah. Like, try no negative talk of like, hey, if you're a girl that likes drama, look the other way. Like, just try to stay positive. Even if you're not a positive guy, you can say, I tend to be pretty cynical and sarcastic, but you can say that in a positive way, because it's just, sometimes guys are already so, they do the same thing comedians do, and they get ahead of the rejection by rejecting themselves. And it's
don't
not
pose
endearing.
with a striped bass, by the way. That came in
Yeah,
dead
horizontal
last.
striped.
Yeah, striped
because it'll
bass.
just
It'll
make you look
fat. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Next
The old
story.
striped bass.
These are all, by the way, Valentine's Day related news.
Yeah, you want a horizontal bass.
I used to have a joke that I'm sure I've done on this show, that when I was anorexic, I got so thin that you could see my ribs, and then I had to gain weight because my ribs are horizontal stripes, and it made me look so fat. So stupid. Okay.
It didn't
let's-
help that you painted them black. Okay. Okay. Forget height
Black
difference.
rib. Yeah, I got canceled.
Black Rob. That's a future one.
Oh my God. Wait, are we going to talk about the Super Bowl at all?
We can.
What's the next news story, though?
Forget height differentials or vast age differences. Small face, big face is the new
Is this a
thing.
type of fish?
Yeah. Hogfish, striped bass face.
Big face, small face.
So head sizes differ wildly based on factors like race, gender, and nationality.
Right.
But they have been getting bigger over time. Big
Okay.
face, small face relationships come with their own specific challenges. Selfies are a big one. Perspective is an issue in photos with partners.
I don't understand what you're saying. So
didn't finish
the
reading the
thing that
headline.
women...
So women are apparently really into dudes with wide faces. According to a 2014 study of speed dating participants, guys with wide faces are thought as of aggressive, powerful, and more financially successful. A woman in a long-term relationship with another woman with a big face said big faces are trustworthy, friendly, and expressive. So people like a wide face. That's
Maybe
another.
that is also... It could be like a guy who's smiling, his face is going to measure wider on...
Their
in
jaw's
the
going to
picture.
be stronger.
You know, if you're smiling, your face gets wider. Look, wider, skinnier, wider, like it by even a little millimeter. I do want to say though that it reminds me of one of the Super Bowl ads last night that I really loved, the Deion Sanders one where he's with his kid. Did you see that one?
I didn't get to see him because.
Oh yeah, because you were in Mexico.
Mexico.
Well, I got the American feed and I streamed it on my TV, and Andrew chose to not come to my room to watch it.
Yeah.
I was like, "You're missing the commercials, dude." But
I
Deion
forgot
Sanders
the commercials were even a thing.
and his son, who I guess is also an athlete, because
He does. Yeah, I know
Okay.
everything about them. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're both in this commercial for fucking, I don't know, some like fucking
Jackson State. Yeah.
like a dip or something, like Doritos or something. And then at the end of it, they're like, "Can you handle it?" They were both like kind of competitive, like being like, "Who's the toughest? Who of us is the toughest? I'm more tough. No, I'm more tough." And then at the end, it goes to Deion Sanders' mom, obviously, and his grandmother, the other kid's grandmother, and she says something to the effect of like, "No, I'm the toughest." And they go, "You?" And she's like, "How do you think I gave birth to that head?" Or something like that.
Hilarious.
It was a comment on her squeezing out his big head through her tiny vagina. It was so funny. And I have to say that black older women killed it on the Super Bowl commercials. There were a lot of older black women that came in at the end and had a great punchline last
Yeah.
night in all the commercials. And Snoop Dogg also looked like one too last night. No, he looked awesome actually.
I was like,
I was trying to search for someone in my mind during the show that looked like an older black woman, but no one did.
Well,
Snoop is
Dr.
the
Dre
closest.
did actually more, and
Oh,
50
yeah, you're
Cent
right.
is getting a lot of hate.
Oh, he looks
because
like,
he looks like
a fat bat.
yeah.
when
They
he
said
came down
250
from.
Cent.
Oh, come on!
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if he was muscular or FAT, and I really don't give a shit. I just
No, he was somewhere in between. I don't know.
he just hadn't performed in a while. That's all I could tell.
Someone wrote a tweet like, "How long was he hanging upside down?" Like,
Yeah.
before it.
I was worried about him getting down, but he just came down like a bat. I was like, "Ooh, this is." But that was in the music video, right? He's upside down.
Yeah, he's upside down getting COVID. I think
Getting COVID.
a bat. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bat out of hell. Meatloaf.
And no, I have a lot of thoughts about the Super Bowl halftime show because I'm not someone who grew up in that generation, and like obviously I love Eminem so much and all of, like the classic songs that they played. I know, but it wasn't like a formative part of my growing.
Oh,
Like
really?
My adolescence. No,
Chronic was huge for.
I know boys.
Yeah.
I think boys. Like I was into Dave Matthews Band, and it just skipped me. But I understand I don't understand it, but I can understand how impactful and so much what it meant to me. I was underwhelmed by this. The set design was cool. Obviously, it looked like a white battleship, a house in the middle of the field, and I think it did not behoove this entire performance to have it still be light outside during halftime. I think it would have been much cooler in the dark. But for me, I was a little underwhelmed I wanted more close-ups, and I think that we lost a lot of like how cool these performances were by doing the whole wide shot of this set piece that it could have gone to each room and done close-ups of the room. Whenever I saw close-ups of the room, the living room with all the guys hanging out, even Eminem, when everyone rushes the stage and goes, lose yourself, and you saw how cool would it have been to see that as a tight shot where it looks like more impressive with all these people. With a wide shot, you just saw there was just this little group of condensed people. Do you agree with me?
I know. I see what you're saying. It's like looking at a whole Barbie. It felt like a Barbie house to me. And it's like, yeah.
Which was cool. It was a great idea.
It's a great idea, but I think I agree a lot with that because I think, all these guys are such characters too. And you want to get.
I want to see
And we're
them
in the
up
day and
close.
age where it's like the closer you are, the more.
The way Kendrick's was shot. Because
Yes.
I was talking to
That was cool.
Chris about this because we had a disagreement about whether or not it was like the best they could do. And he thought, he had a good argument of like, Nikki, you don't understand. You're getting together these people who all have huge egos and know exactly what they want in terms of artistic style. To make anything of that amount of people that are expecting to get what they want artistically done, to agree on one concept is hard. But my point was, I give that to you. I just wanted more close-up shots. I thought Kendrick's was amazing, the way they did that cool thing at the beginning where they would zoom in and then it would come
that was
out.
wild. Yeah.
And I liked the weekends last year where you were close up, you followed them around. And Chris said, it's important to have a sense of the magnitude of how big this is. And I said, I get that. But I know it is because we're at the fucking Super Bowl. I know it's big. I want close up. And I want to see these people close up. I did think, I thought Kendrick's was so cool. I was, on the edge of my seat. Eminem, I wanted just to see him more close up. And 50 Cent, I thought hadn't performed in a while, but I was excited to see him. And then I thought Mary J. Blige was incredible after she danced so hard in the first part where it's a little bit less vocally straining to do the let's get it crunk up, that it's like easier to be winded and sing that. But then she saved the belting song for right after that when this bitch has gotta be winded after dancing that hard. And she hit every note. You could tell it was live. And I just thought it was incredible. And she looked so good. And she must be in her fucking 50s.
People are going off about Eminem's eyebrows. Apparently they
definitely got tinted. Tinted brows. And a tinted beard. I mean, he's
I'm not gonna lie.
things.
I feel like he's added
He
hair
looked
on his
so
beard
hot.
too.
No, he looked young and hot. Sorry. Eminem cares about the way he looks, as does fucking everyone. Get over it. He always has.
Always has a hoodie with a hat.
He looked so good. And he sounded good. They just... What
He
was cool to
kneeled
me
last
was...
night, too.
Yeah, I saw that. They told him not to, and it's like, he's not being paid for this. Do you know
Yeah,
they don't
he'll
get
be
paid?
fine.
What are they going to do? Take away
Yeah,
his
it was-
chance to perform? He's performing.
No one does the Super Bowl twice.
No.
He's okay. He's like, oh, I won't do it. Okay.
I thought it... Noah, did you have any thoughts?
I didn't watch all of it, but I liked Dr. Dre playing the piano and the musicians. I like that there was actual musicians on there.
It was so cool. I thought... I want to watch it again, but I thought, I just wanted more. I wanted to see it more close up. But
I really wanted 50 to, instead of hanging, just to fly in like Lady Gaga. That would have been cool.
I don't remember Lady Gaga's flying. Someone
She
said that.
came in from the roof.
I don't remember it. Was it
like the
I
Rocketeer.
wasn't even drinking during that time. I got to go back and watch all Super Bowl performances because they're just such spectacles. But it was so cool to see people that you just don't worry about, They've done it. All these songs they've sung and rapped so many times.
They're in California.
I never
Everything's
worry
gonna
about
hit.
massive talents, but there's just something about watching someone who has been at it for 25 plus years, some of those 30, 40 years at this point, and you just go, this is nothing to them. They're not nervous. This is like any other thing, and there's something really fun about that. And they seem to be having fun.
I do think we should send Snoop Dogg to talk to Russia about not attacking Ukraine. I feel like there's a presence of Snoop Dogg that's so cool
And calming.
and calm in any he could be in any situation.
I
Maybe
know.
because he went to jail for so long, or he's
How
dealt
long
with
was
so
he
much.
in jail?
I think a day or two. But yeah, it was a
But it
long day.
feels-
It was
Yeah.
daylight saving forward.
In Snoop Dogg years, that's 7
yeah, that's
days.
7 days.
That was a pretty good joke.
That was a great joke.
Thanks.
But yeah, so he, I don't know. There's something about him, like
Well,
you
a
said,
guy
like
that
he's
just talks like this and is high all the time. Do you think he was really fucking? I wonder, because you know how I was telling you about Bill Maher, how he never smokes pot before a real time taping or a
No,
TV
Snoop
taping.
Dogg's high.
But Bill Maher will smoke a ton of weed before performing stand up in any way because stand up is different to him. I wonder because I think there's people that really make being a pothead as their lifestyle work have a little bit of rules about it where you can't be a weed addict and be as successful and look as good as he is for
I
that
don't
many
know.
years.
I feel
I
like
definitely think he's addicted, but
I
just
had to
think
guess,
he's
I don't
managing
think
it in some way.
I don't think Snoop is like, well, this is for this and this is for that. But I
bet
could be
you
wrong.
anything he is.
He might have
Probably
a
you
different
don't become
strains.
that successful.
He probably has different strains
I would-
depending
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
occasion.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I bet you, like,
suit and tie strain.
I loved, in terms of commercials, I just want to say I loved the Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen one. I thought that was really fun. The
lot
one
of
with Anna.
cryptocurrency one.
Yes,
right?
a lot of like being yelled at about not getting into crypto and feeling the pressure there. Maybe that's what I'll do today. I'll quit Diet Coke and get into crypto. I feel ashamed that I'm not involved with it. And I missed the part of the game where the fucking Bengals lost. I fell asleep. I was so
What?
tired. I was so sleep deprived, and I also like didn't care.
Yeah.
So that was a major factor too. But I'll tell you what, Joe Burrow is so cute. He's a little Culkin.
Joe Burrow, a little Cole. He's all
And
5
who's
of
the
them
ki-
put together.
who's the kicker for the
a little
Bengals?
Culkin. Huh?
Who's the kicker for the Bengals?
Oh, he's a good McPherson.
Oh boy, he is a cutie.
Yeah, he went to
And
Florida.
so is the
He's a
the
stud.
guy who's the main guy that they kept showing for the Rams.
Matt Stafford.
He's cute too.
Yeah, he's very handsome.
Oh
man.
my God, what is with
And
football
Odell
players being
Beckham,
so
very
cute?
handsome.
I don't remember him.
Cooper Kupp looks like what's the guy Amish, like a hot Amish man,
Oh,
but
okay.
who
I
like
don't
is
remember
missing.
him. I heard his name a bunch.
chromosomes.
I will say that I hate Chris Collinsworth's voice more than
you've
any.
always hated it.
I can't.
And then we looked it up, and he dated 12-year-olds when he was 26.
I can't stand his voice. I don't know what it is. It's just, it sounds like it's on the brink of going out.
Yeah.
And I wish Joe Buck would have been doing the Super Bowl. We got to go to break. We're going to come back with top one, bottom one, and it's a special Valentine's Day edition.
I had something to talk about the halftime. Damn it.
And we're back. Andrew, what did you want to say about the halftime show? Let's
No,
get it in.
Just every celebrity in the crowd trying to make the halftime performance about them. Did you see Bieber and them? They were all
No.
loving it. They were all loving it.
But
I
what do
get
you
it.
mean they were making it about them? Because they were enjoying it?
But not just enjoying it, like literally, like they were part of. Which,
But that
do your
happens at every
thing.
like
do your thing.
award
do your
show.
Thing.
You go to
I
the
just-
audience and they're. What would you
It felt
prefer
a little.
him just?
It just felt a little much to
well,
me.
we gotta come up with a title for you. This guy who thinks everyone. I mean, obviously Justin Bieber.
I don't think I'm wrong though.
You're not, but would you, if you had a camera right in your face, knowing it's going to cut to you at some point in the performance, what would you have been doing, Andrew Collin, during that performance? What would you have been doing differently?
California knows how to party.
You
as
wouldn't
opposed
have
to California, everybody.
see,
it's more about me.
Hey, Noah.
That's how I felt.
Can we cut to the picture of the Jumbotron that when Andrew and I got on the Jumbotron and it was my name and Andrew got into my shot? Can we cut to that right now and see if Andrew would not make it about him? Let's get to top one, bottom one. It's top
That
one,
was
bottom
different.
one.
That was completely different.
Okay.
I was trying to hype you up.
Top one, bottom one today is
Romantic gestures.
the category. Classic romantic gestures, and for Valentine's Day, which is some
Might
of
as
our
well be.
Halloweens.
Spookier.
There's so many cliche things that men do for women, women do for men, but it's more about like heterosexual relationships and
Yes.
what is done for. I'll say in any relationship, what is done for the female energy person. Our top thing that we like personally.
Top that we like or bottom thing that we like?
It's bottom and top,
okay,
So let's start with the bottom. Our least favorite romantic gesture, which may or may not be something that happens a lot and frequently on, on Instagram on Valentine's Day. Andrew, do you have one? Because I could get us started.
Yeah, get us started.
I think that rose petals on the bed First of all, flowers. I'll just say flowers.
That's bottom?
Bottom
Wow.
for me.
Interesting.
And listen, I'm not considering every way an animal could be. Anytime an animal is involved with some kind of message or delivery, me no like. But I will say flowers for me. I do love them when I get them. I think they're a gigantic waste of money though. And I would honestly prefer a card that said, instead of flowers, I picked you this fucking... I picked something in the garden. I picked a 3-leaf clover for you. It doesn't even have to be 4-leaf. And tape it to a card and say, this is your flower. Or if you want some kind of plant that has been destroyed, here you go. And I've donated the $60 to the St. Louis Stray Rescue. That is so much. And I know flower shops need to stay in business. Don't worry. This isn't going to threaten them. Girls, they will never go out of business. They upcharge so much. And flowers are beautiful. But they are so expensive, and I just think that I would rather people waste their money on literally anything. And we'll get to what I think that could be in the top one. Andrew, do you have a bottom?
I mean, I guess it's more about like what I do, what I've done in the past, because I don't feel like girls get as many presents for the guy. I don't.
Yeah, no, we're talking about things that are done for female energy.
Okay, for female.
Yeah.
So,
like in general, it doesn't have to be things you've done.
Well, what I did do one time. No, rose petals I did from like the door to the bed in college with my college girlfriend. And I honestly, I don't even know if she slept in the hotel room that night. I think, I don't even know she came. So it's just setting yourself up for failure.
Yes.
You're
Little
down.
Hansel and Gretel to the bed.
Oh, dude, yeah, it was like Hansel, and it was just Hansel alone in bed crying.
It is cliche. I almost went with that as my bottom because it is so stupid. And honestly, the other day on my bed here at my hotel, they put rose petals all over the bed and did a big heart. And the woman who cleans my room knows I'm here alone. She's cleaning up after, I mean, she probably cleans up enough fucking Diet Coke that she thinks I'm supporting a family of 18. But they put and I'm just like, now I just have to clean this shit up. I just think that flowers and the vase for flowers is such a burden because you just end up with this thing that you put on top of your cabinets.
And it
just
moldy.
makes clutter.
The water gets moldy.
Yes, and the water gets moldy.
So what should we do instead of a flower
Well, we'll get to
girl?
that for the top one.
Oh.
Okay, Noah, bottom for you.
Okay, anything that's a surprise, like that involves like a big, like gesture,
Just like
with, like for
that
example,
other people in the public.
yeah, like a surprise engagement with like a group of people, with your friends and family, a jumbotron,
Okay.
surprise, like just like anything big and public like that.
Oh, I love that. I want everyone to know. I
I
would
thought
be.
you hate that.
No.
I
I
thought
would
you hate
like-
a public engagement.
I love it.
Super Bowl engagement last night, by the way,
There was.
from the team that lost. No,
Oh.
the team that won. I wish it was.
Oh, really?
I wish they lost to see if he'd still do
I
it.
love.
but-
That it's cute. I hated the Adele one because I thought that it was stupid that everyone thought Adele planned it.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. But I do love public displays of, and I
You don't think
watch
it
the
puts too
wedding
much
video
pressure on
all
the
the
girl?
time. There's one, Bruno Mars "Marry Me" is the song, and the guy puts his girlfriend in the back of a Volvo, like she's facing out. You know those seats that face out in the back, and they leave the trunk up. You guys got to watch it. "Marry Me," Bruno Mars. Noah, you shouldn't because it's your fucking bottom. But I love this shit, and they do a whole dance. Like he starts off by being like, he puts headphones on her so she's listening to the Bruno Mars song, and then it plays out of the back as well, and then the car starts slowly pulling down the street, and they blocked off the street, and all of their friends come together along the way, and in the song it's like, it's a beautiful night, you're looking for something fun to do, it's okay baby, I want to marry you, and then there's a part where it says, or maybe it's the dancing blues or something, but it sounds like dancing Jews, and so they have all these rabbis come in dancing at that part, and but it's all their friends, and you can tell they're like musical theater nerds because all of their friends are just like loving it and walking along, and it moves me so much, and it's this big proposal at the end. It's like, because I want to marry you, and then her family comes in at the end. You can tell she didn't expect to see them. It's so cute, and you should watch it. Let's go to our top one romantic gesture. I'll start us off. A card that shares your feelings. Just a simple card, literally can be a piece of computer paper from the printer. You fold in half, you draw a fucking heart on the front, and then you write at least one whole page densely of your feelings about someone with a couple jokes in it, but truly like how you really feel and being vulnerable. And it can be the cheapest thing. All you need is a pen and paper. And I think that's the best possible thing for Valentine's Day is just, or birthdays, anything. It's always what I give is try to make a card that's really heartfelt that says everything I can't really say to this person to their like face about them. And that's what I like. And I just right here have my card from the guy I'm seeing. And it is, usually he gets me cards that are just like, you're hot. I love, and then it's usually like a one-liner inside because he is effusive and very in other ways. And I've never told him like, I really want you to write a full thing, but I just opened it up and it's pretty dense.
I think it just
And
says
I haven't seen
you hot 30 times.
Andrew, top one.
Me borrowing that card. Chris looks like Andrew if I just, I could switch it up. And Chris, Andrew. I think the nicest thing that I do that isn't like regarding like money or anything romantic is a massage that like where I break out lotion and all that shit without expecting sex. Don't touch the vagina. Just give a real fucking massage, like a real massage. Not that like, oh, my fingers hurt or oh, I've been doing it for 6 minutes. Where's my massage? I'm talking like a massage. I'm talking oils, candles.
That is a great idea.
And just like really paying attention and taking my time. I don't think there could be much nicer than that.
You should wear a snowsuit.
Yeah, I should wear. Yeah.
You should wear a chastity belt. Like no anticipation.
I would, but I'd lose the key.
Maybe fuck before it and then do it, so you know that there's no.
Oh yeah.
You know that you can, and you're like, I don't really even think I want to.
Yeah, squeeze out all my cum possible.
I love that.
I love doing that because really it is like.
And it's so sensual, and you get to touch every part, and it's loving.
It really is. Like, is there anything more loving than getting a head massage? Like, I fucking
it's
like
so
just,
especially like
where
right
you
here,
know where they
like the third eye,
like
where
here
your
in
third
the
eye would be.
temples.
Your third eye, your third eye chakra. Noah.
It's the clit of your forehead.
Oh, see, I like the temples and like the like jaw right here where your jaw hinges. Oh, baby! Even though I just watched the other day, I'm like all of my YouTube suggestions are stories about people with like crazy body things, like the girl that was born without a jaw, the girl that was born and can't stop eating, the girl that lost all of her skin, and it's all these amazing people that have like the boy who's made of tumors, and it's just like I don't know why YouTube just found something that I'm into, and it's just amazing to see these stories of perseverance.
Doesn't it sound like children books?
Yes, it does. And
the boy made out
they
of
teach
tumor.
me important life lessons, like
it might be a good idea for children books, like the darkest children books possible.
Yeah,
Not a bad idea
to make them learn lessons and
yeah,
be grateful
really
for their
dark.
jaws. Honestly, I was grateful for my fucking jaw the other day because I watched this girl who was so amazing and has to like she.
How does she eat?
She they took one of her ribs and made it into a small jaw, but it will never have a hinge, and so it's just there. She I think she eats like she has to just eat soft things, and she's on TikTok, and she just type the girl born without a jaw. She's so the way her brother like almost cries talking about how proud he is of her is the sweetest thing. She's very musical because she thought she'd never express herself vocally because she can't. She's hard like this.
Her brother had the same illness, but just grew a beard. I heard.
Oh, that's so fucking funny. God damn it, that's funny. Noah,
Okay.
what's your top romantic gesture?
Anything that's like kind of like made by hand. So it could be like even like a macaroni frame for a photo.
Yes.
Something drawn, something played.
Something that took time other than handing money to someone at a cash register.
Yeah, exactly. And has creativity involved.
But you could argue that you spent time earning that money to spend. So every woman is different, but I do, creativity also. I love
someone
that.
like made you like an iron work, like you knew they had to like bend iron
Chris
and shit.
literally makes me, he welds. And he also does stained glass. And one Valentine's, he made me, maybe it was my birthday, he made me a bird that I have in my room. And then this Christmas, he made me a square Taylor Swift like album, like her album 1989. He designed it all and made it. And
That's so
and I told him,
sweet.
hey, I want all 9 of her albums done like that, and I want to display them in my window because they're tiny and they would look so cool, all of them. And I was like, but I don't want to wait for birthdays and Christmas. Like, I want you to do it. I was like, can I just like pay you? And he's like, no, I'll do it. I'm like, and he was just like, what do you mean you don't want it? And I was like, I just want it now. Like, do I have to wait? And I just think, anything handcrafted is really nice too. But
and it's sexy. You like envision like the medieval times of them like breaking like
Yeah.
the fire like falling, or
collecting
hitting it.
flowers
Oh.
yourself out on a walk or like some kind of like
Right.
Or stealing them from your neighbor, who like
Yeah.
an old lady,
going
who's
to a
like, "This is
cemetery
all I
and picking
have."
some out.
Yeah,
My aunt Lynn, who died, always used to steal flowers from cemeteries. Like that was just a thing she did. I know it's an awful thing, but it was funny because we have not buried her yet because she died when we all couldn't be together. So we're kind of figuring out what to do with her, or like just as a
Where is she now?
plaque or something. And I want to put her at a cemetery, and like I want her thing to say, take whatever flowers are here, like as a way to give back. So anytime she gets flowers, like they will always be taken to give back, because it's true. Like the dead people aren't gonna.
Where's
fucking
her
see 'em.
body? Did she cremate?
She was cremated. So
Oh,
I'm gonna get some of. She had my cousin's ashes. When she died, my cousin, who was her son, who's my best friend growing up, who Andrew, you remind me a lot of because I want you to die. She had his she had his ashes, and we never really knew what happened to JD's ashes, and so I'm gonna get some, and I'm so fucking excited about it. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it, but just having there's something about it that makes me like really excited. I know that's dumb, but final thought. What do you want to be cremated?
No.
No, you want to.
I saw a funny joke. This guy, his kid died, and the
Whoa.
kid got cremated.
You're like the end.
Yeah, that's it. Anyways, what else? No. So his son got cremated, and he's like, how do I even know? Like, he had a thought, like, is that really him in there? Like, they could just literally throw in anything.
That
and
reminds me of
Why, you don't-
Cosby, honestly,
Oh.
because Cosby's son got murdered.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? And they were talking about it. This documentary is so good. Again, it's called "We Need to Talk About Cosby." And
Did
it
his son
just-
get murdered on the side of the road or something?
Yes, and they don't get into like what happened because I don't really remember what happened, but they did say that he was at the time doing a show called Cosby. It was after the Cosby Show had ended, but he was on set, and he missed a couple days of work, and then he came back and he gathered everyone together and walked in like. One of the writers was like, he kind of walked in like, and here's Bill, to like talk to everyone about his son dying. And he came in and he was like, it was a little weird because they were like, and now Bill Cosby to address
Yeah.
the cast and crew about his son's passing, that we're all like waiting to hear, like to.
Your daughter got cancer. Like,
But he
it's
goes,
not a good voice.
He goes,
for-
but that's the way Bill did everything. Was
Oh.
like he's now Bill Cosby, and so he did a whole comedy routine essentially about his son dying only 4 days after he died, because he said that's how he had to flip it, and also he's a fucking sociopath. Dear God, you have to watch this documentary. He is.
What's it on Hulu? I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah,
or
it's for some
tomorrow
reason
night.
I'm not getting it on Hulu in Mexico. I had to do it through Showtime, and I just did the free trial. But man, is it worth it? It's so it,
Let's do a deep dive.
Kamau
Let's
Bell,
do a deep dive on Thursday.
I mean, it's what it is interesting as someone who obviously, if you like to hear about like how people came to fame and like hearing about stories about show business careers. I mean, they cover all of that, and it's almost like the O.J. Simpson documentary where it said, what was the setting? What was the time like when this all went down that we allowed this to happen? What was the culture? He did for Black America? What he then did to warrant Hannibal Buress going on stage and completely, Hannibal Buress, the most grainy video you've ever seen shot is the one of Hannibal Buress in Philadelphia, which is ironic because that's where Cosby is from, on stage saying, Cosby telling us to pull up our pants, and that, lambasting single mothers for not doing enough, and absentee fathers and Black people need to be better and talk clearly and all these things. And he's like, and motherfucker, we're not raping all over the place. Why not? You're a rapist. And the audience kind of goes, what? And he goes, Google it. He goes, Google, when you go home, Google Bill Cosby rape. It definitely has more results than Hannibal Buress. And
wow.
The irony now is that Hannibal Buress's name is probably in most of those Google results for Bill Cosby rape because he was the one that got everyone.
I saw it before he did like that. What's that show? That
he said it was a bit. He wasn't even like.
I saw it at like a small bar show. He just started talking about it, and everyone was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was like, I saw it live. I just remember being like, "Whoa," like because we never because of the sweater. They're nice sweaters. He's a doctor on. It's like calling out like who would be like that now, like. Where
no, honestly, Bob Saget. I was thinking like the way people are talking about him as like America's dad. I mean, that's one of my lyrics in the song was like, he was. It would be like someone like Bob Saget, who after Bob's death, obviously, it's come out even more what amazing man he was. It'd be like that. It would be like Mr. Rogers. Honestly, it is like it was. Oh, you know who someone compared it to? Because at first they said
I'm thinking more like The Rock or someone like that.
Yeah, well, absolutely The Rock.
Yeah.
But they said during the documentary that at first, when you became a comedian in the 90s, you found out from like there are certain things when you become in show business that you find out that the general public doesn't know. I always say that when you land in LA and become part of like when you move to Hollywood to make it and you're kind of insider, like talking to people who've been around a while, you find out Ellen is actually not nice. Yeah. That's one of the first things. They're like, Ellen's a cunt. And you're like, what? And I compare it to like LA when you get off the plane in Hawaii. They're just like, Ellen's a cunt. And you're like, oh, I'm going to bring this back to the Midwest and show my mom. And they're like, it's not going to hold up by the time you get back. It'll all fall apart and she's not going to believe you. But there are certain things and everyone kind of knows. Open secrets, obviously, is I think what they're called. And the one that they say back then was that Robin Williams steals jokes and Bill Cosby is a notorious philanderer. He cheats on his wife, which was crazy back then, which was already the most crazy thing because he's the family guy, And so that was the craziest thing to imagine, that Bill Cosby cheats, let alone is a serial rapist, but he cheats on his wife. And someone said, a woman in the documentary said, that would be like saying Barack Obama cheats on Michelle. That's how incendiary that was back then.
That's a good example.
And even imagining that made my heart sink. I was like, no, he didn't, about Barack. But
no, he took his own flight to Epstein's Island.
Oh, but you just see that when Bill Cosby gets a little bit older, he starts getting more crotchety and he just starts making his little fucking bed for them to come through. And women were not being believed at any point during all this. And by the way, he was a master in getting women to not talk about it. None of these women talked about it, even to their closest. There's only one woman that I can remember who really shared it with her partner, maybe two in the documentary that it covers. Most of these women never said a thing about it until this all came to be because they truly felt it was their fault. And most of them, and almost maybe, I don't want to say gratefully, can't remember the assault. They just woke up naked. And the last thing they remember is, falling face first into a backgammon board. And I just want to say you should watch the documentary for the most interesting detail of the whole thing that I will not spoil, but it involves my favorite food, oatmeal. So that's all I'm going to say. So you should go watch it to learn what the fuck that's all about because I still don't know. And I would love to speculate with you once you do watch it.
Talk about a commercial for oatmeal.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go have another bowl. Thank you so much for joining us on Valentine's Day. I hope you had fun. We really covered it all on here. I love you so much, you guys. Thanks for being there for us in our lives and so supportive and sweet. And you're just the best fans. And we're coming up on a year and we're grateful for each and every one of you we've got along the way. And we'll be celebrating that as we go on because, yeah, you guys make this show possible. And you're the best. And we got special fun announcements coming up as well. So with that, Andrew, Noah, great pod. Everyone else out there, don't be cuh.
And
Jack
Reacher.
I was going to say that, but I almost said Jack the Reacher. Like Jack the Ripper, which wouldn't have been right.
Or the Barber.